Recently, Kovarex said it would be possible to hit 1 million signs per minute in the new expansion. I laughed, called that impossible, and embraced my masculine urge to one-up random people on the internet. So, if you want to beat Factorio fast and make a megabase, do what I do.
Let's go gambling! Aw, dang it! Aw, dang it!
We're specifically looking for lots of green, good lake choke points, and separated patches. Dude, I don't know if I'm just... What is that? What is that? Two coal miners inserting their output into each other's input makes more coal. Continue that human centipede for a large buffer of coal to fuel your machines. And that's cool, but it's manual. Automation needs power. Easy enough, some water, a boiler, 2 generators, coal supply, and that's done. Following power, it's time to start research. I always focus on automation, logistics, and these. Around now is when the natives are going to notice your squeaky clean, unregulated business ventures. This isn't a problem because the love abiders have for their habitat is a lot lower than the engineers' love for eating fish. With the new office space, we can build our second starter base. Our strategy is going to be a bus base, a design philosophy that keeps all your resources in an accessible main channel with infinite space for parallel production on the side. I won't lie, this is a super boring design, but it's super effective, and how many lanes of each resource are on the bus is completely up to you, no right answers. But in my case, there are certainly wrong ones. Engines fit naturally on the bus for me. It's an overall compression of items, it's used frequently, and it's also required for the car. Oil, by far the biggest pain point for most new players. Build further away, make parallel lanes, give yourself space between them, and you'll be fine. So delete your Reddit post and get back to work. We've got new stuff, plastic, sulfur, explosives, and access to a quirky party trick. That being red circuits. No matter how many times you double these, you'll never have enough. I mean, they're used in pretty much every recipe chain, especially in chemical science. Now the tank is pretty good. Bonus points for putting some of these in your armor. But unfortunately, it's back to oil. Advanced oil cracking is like normal cracking, but quirky. A water input, 3 different colored outputs, and a gigantic pain in the ass to route. It's not all bad though. Light oil makes rocket fuel, and that makes things fast. Very fast. Another tip for you, store them separately with plenty of space in between. Use a pump and a wire that reads if the fluid is too high and should be reduced, although it looks like we're running a bit low on it at the moment. If only we had the help of trains. Yes, I'm a weird train guy.
Oh my god! Oh, she's beautiful! She is beautiful, yeah! Oh no, it's a BL2 too!
If you want to learn about him, I recommend this video by Dosh, because if it was for me, trust me, we would be here forever. Robots are great too. Place some of these down and grow your factory wherever you are. They are super useful for doing things like doubling power, doubling copper, doubling coal, doubling power, and we were well on our way to finishing the next 2 sciences, productivity and logistics. We even finished researching the rocket silo. All in all, not bad, beating the game in 17 hours. Fully supplying a steady 50 signs per minute with no problems whatsoever. Now, is there any other real reason to megabase other than getting free Reddit karma? Well, it's also a pretty accurate genealogy report, as the size of these numbers are a direct reflection of your Eastern European heritage.
Developer, owner of the company, Factorio, the new space age expansion. How did Factorio come about? When did it start?
And given my nationality, I'm gonna make my numbers big. 100 times bigger. And that kind of scale gives us a whole heap of new logistical problems. Space, power, resources, modules, and of course the manufacturing design. Obviously, we need space to build anything. And so far, I've managed to beat the game by attacking biters only in our pollution cloud. A cloud that will now be growing 100 times bigger. That's a big problem because I'm not Michael Hendricks, who quite literally can put biters in quantum superposition. The tank is fine, but it needs space for you to drive around. Artillery is sick, but a pain to use offensively. Thankfully, over 4 years ago, the devs added this thing, the Spider-Tron. 8 legs, 4 rocket launchers, and a remote control is perfect for what we need. Make sure you don't fill them with nukes. Even better, make another, and make some more, and you can have them all following one guy. So, 6 hours later of tedious clicking, building, and invasion of personal privacy, it's done. Sorry, I meant 20 hours. A continent-sized perimeter, completely defended by a wall of flamethrowers and laser turrets, and get it resupplied by train whenever they get low. And all those laser turrets are using a whole lot of power. Ooh! Which gives us 2 options. Solar is the most popular due to its almost non-existent cost to UPS. One big problem, it uses a ton of space and an even bigger time to build. So instead, we'll use nuclear. Looks cooler, much smaller, and you can achieve your 5-year energy plan in about 15 milliseconds. All it takes is one tiny uranium patch. And this reactor design here maximizes heat efficiency, can make 1.6 gigawatts of power. If it wasn't for the fluid flow rate, but what about the resource flow rate? Overall, it's going to take 2 million ore per minute, equating to over 3,000 miners. Trying to load 84 wagons worth of ore like this is not going to work anymore. So for the first time ever, I mined directly into a train. A big train. 8 wagons long, double-headed, and a horrible idea. The drop-offs were super easy to make, but the entire system is going to be really slow. A problem I was blissfully unaware of. But in the meantime, everything seemed to work when I was revamping my old bad system to the newer, less bad system. And now we have enough resources to make modules. These little things trade off all the circuits you could ever produce for small bonuses like increased speed and free duplicate crafts. Implementing modules in every crafting step would reduce our total cost to a measly 500,000 ore. One problem, I'm going to need 60,000 of them. My solution, make a new base that exclusively makes modules, 60 of them a minute. And so a few hours later, I designed this. It's not perfect, but it gives 20 of each module every minute. And with that in mind, I was able to start theorizing how I'm going to make 5,000 science per minute. The most conventional approaches are belt bases, city blocks, and train-to-drain base. I chose the latter, and when I was theorizing, I made this discovery. It's so big, dude. It is so absurdly big. This is just for smelting. This is this is gonna literally 40 times bigger than this. And like the module cost is way too much. Like, dude, what, 40 times of this? It's 160,000 speed modules? Dude, bro, no way. To finish this entire project before the DLC, I changed my design philosophy to maximize time. "12 train input stations, 600 furnaces, 400 assemblers, 500 of each signs being produced each minute. Only inputting raw resources, maximized for minimal build time and cost. Like the module factory, it has some jank, but there isn't always a Doshington video to solve all your problems. Are you ladies and gentlemen? After all this time, we had everything prepared to plop one of these modules down. I programmed an army of 8 Buildertrons to construct my machination, and it took them over 10 minutes to do it. And guess what? It works. So I gotta do it 9 more times. Despite my designs being focused on material efficiency, it takes 3 hours to save up all the modules for just one build. This is just a warning that when you do this for yourself, be prepared to spend a lot of time AFKing or doing pretty monotonous things. Nonetheless, it was done. Some minor tweaks and a small traffic problem, we've made it. A respectable 5,000 signs per minute. I hope you learned something from this. I certainly have. So get out there and make one of these on the DLC release. I certainly will be, as I'll be attempting the insane 1 million signs per minute challenge from Mr. Kovarex. So see you on the other side, boys, and remember, the factory must grow.